I am Maria Garcia de Fleury. Ignatius was born around the year 1491 in Azpeitia, Spain, in the Basque country. They called him Inigo, and he grew up in a large Christian family. Today, July 31st, the day on which his feast is celebrated, we want to talk about his devotion to the Mother of God, which he learned in his family since he was a child, and which he maintained throughout his life as a real devotion to the Virgin Mary, Our Lady, as he called her. Ignatius was risky, aggressive. He dedicated himself to the vanities of the world and enjoyed his life as a soldier on exercises, seeking honor and prestige. However, he maintained always his devotion to the Virgin Mary, Our Lady, and even at that time, he composed some prayers to her. The leg wound he received in Pamplona and his long convalescence was a privileged occasion to reflect and meditate for long hours on the book of the life of Christ, written by Ludolf of Saxony, and the book of the life of the saints, written by Giacomo de Varese. Both books matured his popular devotion as his devotions to Mary in the light of faith. In his autobiography, Ignatius narrates that one day the Blessed Virgin showed him her consoling presence in a special way. While awake one night, he saw before him an image of Our Lady with the Holy Child. This went on for a long time, and he couldn't take his eyes off her. He felt a happiness, a joy that he had never known. He felt invaded by holiness and cleanliness in his mind. Now, he wanted to preserve in writing the most essential things in the life of Christ and the saints. That is why he began to write the words that Jesus Christ said in red and those of the Virgin in blue. For Ignatius of Loyola, the Virgin Mary was the true and only lady of his thoughts. He wanted to honor her and serve her in everything. He decided to make a pilgrimage to the Holy Land and began it by praying to the Virgin with a vigil at the Aranzazu sanctuary. There he privately made a vow of chastity to Our Lady. On the way to the sanctuary of Our Lady of Montserrat, an intermediate goal in his pilgrimage to the Holy Land, he left an alms in Navarrete so that an image of the Virgin Mary who needed it would be restored. Upon arriving at the monastery of Our Lady of Montserrat, he hung his knight's dagger and sword before the altar of Our Lady. He made a general confession of his life. He gave his knight's dress to a poor man he found and dressed in the poor man's clothes, which consisted of a sack dress and spadrilles. It was in Manresa where he wrote his famous spiritual exercises, and from the first week of the exercises, Our Lady appears as an intercessor before her Son and Lord, and as a glorious mother. In his spiritual diary, Ignatius said that in the Mass, when consecrated, he felt and saw Our Lady as a door and part of the great spiritual grace that he experienced. Since Christ was incarnated in the Virgin Mary, and through her, he entered the world and is given to us as food in the Eucharist, the body of Christ that he was consecrating at that time. Friends, today many lay people, priests and religious congregations live the heritage of devotion to Our Lady the Virgin Mary as intrinsic to Ignatian spirituality, demonstrated that with God we always win.